We put a ton of planning into this trip to Montana, and the software that we use for the planning was Onyx Off-Road. It's really simple. I just zoom in on an area, I see who owns it, and then I can decide whether or not we can camp there or if we need to look for somewhere else. And in this video specifically, this was very crucial because there was a lot of fires that happened between the time we planned the trip and when we actually took the trip. Using Onyx software, I was able to quickly and easily make a plan B, and even in one case, a plan C, to make sure that we could get somewhere, we could have a good time, we're gonna be out of the fire danger, and we're camping somewhere that we're allowed to. There's a lot of options today for planning our off-road trip. Make sure when you're shopping around, you check out Onyx Off-Road. Thank you, Onyx, for sponsoring the video. This isn't one of those videos where I drag my rig over a bunch of rocks or I do a bunch of meathead stuff. Today, we are instead going to take my family out. We're going to do a really special trip in Montana with some very special people, and we're going to finally get this Land Rover Discovery off-road. Today on Dirt Lifestyle, we are at a place called Bannack. It is in Montana. It is an old ghost town, and we're doing our first of hopefully many. That's my dog back there. Say hi, Bear. First of many Patreon meetups. We're gonna meet up with our Patreon folks across the country and just go explore different places and make new friends and set up camp and just have fun. So we've got Cody from Idaho.
Yep.
You're Michael.
Yes.
He's Michael from LA.
Yep,
And Blanca and Aaron, that's right. I'm still trying to remember everybody's names. We all just met. We've got dogs, we've got kids, we've got people. Let's go have fun. Bannack is a ghost town in Beaverhead County, Montana, and it served as the capital of the Montana Territory briefly in 1864. The reason I chose to start this get-together in Bannack is because I'm secretly a huge history buff, but I think that this fully encompasses and embodies the history of Montana and what helped to shape this special place into what you see today. So the mission today is to start this expedition in Bannack and then slowly work our way up into the woods to find a great place to camp.
All right, there you go.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Nate, a guy named Nate, YouTube star, will be here early this Friday. A fan left this frying pan for him to pick up. Look at that. Definitely gonna be cooking out of this tonight. One of my favorite things about visiting Montana is the mentality of the people here. If I want to bring my dog into a state park, no one cares. Of course, bring your dog, just take care of it. If I find a rattlesnake in a state park, no reason to shut the park down. Just leave the snake alone, go about your day. This reminds me of when I was a kid and we had a little less rules and a little bit more freedom. So not only is Bannack a great time capsule of the late 1800s, but Montana as a whole is a great time capsule of a simpler time in America. That one's locked. I actually see a lock. It looks like we can go across this to the school though. Look at that school. I've been to a few pretty sweet ghost towns in my travels, but Bannack has got to be the most interactive of any one I've ever been to. They regularly maintain this place and make it to where if you want to hop on the playground equipment, hop on the playground equipment. If you want to go inside and sit in a desk and see what it was like to be in a school in the 1890s, then feel free, have a seat. I love the fact that this place is so interactive and there's so much to do and see.
Yeah, that's where we're going. That's called a hotel. People used to come here and stay, kind of like that RV camp we went to last night where there was a bunch of different families. That's kind of what a hotel is. Yes, there are two people right there. They're visiting just like we are.
I do want to come in here. Whoa, look at those stairs. After spending a few hours going through the different buildings of this town and really enjoying ourselves, it was time to head to lunch in the town of Dillon so we could make a plan for our next move. be liking what I'm seeing, gentlemen. I think we might have made the right choice. It looks beautiful in them hills.
We decided to head up into the John Long mountain range located in Deer Lodge National Forest. This was a plan B for us because the fires that are going on in Montana right now really changed this trip in a big way. From the research that we did at lunch, it looks like we're going to be okay as far as fires, so we're going to proceed with caution and look for a great campsite. Whether you call it camping or overlanding or an expedition, my favorite method of adventure is to go to a different place every day, stay at a different place every night, make sure you can see as much as possible in a short amount of time. No one on this trip expected to come here and camp, so none of us have ever been here, none of us are even from this state. So for me, this is peak anticipation, this is peak excitement, and there's nowhere in the world I'd rather be than in Montana with a bunch of people I just met.
Look at this view. Too bad we can't stay here. We, on the map, it showed this going all the way through, and there was gonna be a clearing down there. It was gonna be glorious. Oh, let me fix you there. It was gonna be glorious. However, we got here, and it just stops right here. And it's not a turnaround of any kind for our friend with the full-size Jeep on a trailer. So now we are headed back to meet up with him and help him unhitch it, I guess, and see if we can turn it around. It's gonna be kind of a show, but we'll see what happens.
The guy with the trailer's name is Aaron, and he frequently travels around the country, so he brings his Jeep on a trailer behind his quote-unquote overland rig. Of course, there's huge benefits to this setup. You've got an extra vehicle, you've got an extra trailer in case one of them breaks down. But on a trip like this, where we're going a bunch of places we've never been before, and you might have to turn around, this setup can be a bit of a liability.
What a savage, he's already almost done. Oh, that's quick. Hold that. I think it'll slide on right there, it's good.
After surveying the area where Aaron turned around a little bit, we realized that this is a pretty good sized turn, and since we knew no one was going to be coming up here and it's a dead-end road, maybe another half a mile further, this could make for the perfect spot. Since we're down in a valley in the tree line, it should make it to where there's no wind, there's enough room for all of us to get turned around in the morning, and it even looks like we've got a couple decent flat spots for everyone to set up their tents.
I was about to cook some delicious burgers, and I had to show off this new pan. So the story is, we have a Patreon subscriber named Brian. You've got another little pan for us. Brian, I believe it's Palermo. Sorry, Brian. See, another little matching cute dirt lifestyle pan. It's so rad. So he went to Bannack like a week before we did, and he couldn't join our little tribe here. And he wanted to give me a gift, and this was the gift. I didn't know what it was until we showed up and I asked for it behind the desk. So anyway, before I cooked on this, I wanted to thank you, Brian, so much for such an awesome gift. I don't even know how you have something like this made, but that's such a great, the topo, I mean, it's incredible. So anyway, thank you so much. Now it's time to eat.
We spent the end of the first day cooking and eating and laughing and telling stories around the campfire. It's everything that you would want in a trip like this. For me, this is one of the most picturesque endings to a day that I've had so far this summer.
Do you like your breakfast? What'd you have for breakfast? Yogurt?
Yogurt, banana, and strawberries.
Yogurt, banana, and strawberries?
Yeah.
I think I might make some bacon and eggs. Would you like some of that?
Yeah!
2 breakfasts. You are my boy.
Do you want some bacon and eggs?
Yeah. You still got yogurt on your face. You sure you want bacon and eggs?
We all made breakfast, we shared some food, and we decided to take down camp. And as much as I love to sit around and eat food, I couldn't wait to kick off today because we needed to go find where we're gonna stay tonight. As many of you might know, this is our big shakedown run for this Land Rover project, and so I'm picking up some clunks here and there. And before we head to the next camp, what I want to do is I want to head to Missoula, Montana. We're going to get in a parking lot. I can lay underneath this thing and start to tighten bolts and see where this noise is coming from.
Those on him. I want to see if he'll. Perfect.
Once we found a parking lot to work in, we quickly discovered what the noise was. One of the snap rings holding the joint together on my control arm had popped off and everything had walked out. So we pulled everything apart, we reinstalled the snap ring in a parking lot, and then a couple other folks from Montana decided to join our crew and head up into the mountains. Woo-wee! We are finally ready to go. We're doing plan C. No more bison range, we're too far. We're gonna go to another section of Lolo National Forest. Well, road closed. Unfortunately, the fire activity was really plaguing our trip this year.
Road closed again.
One of the locals who was with us knew of a spot, and there's no fires in that area. So we turned around, we let him lead the way, and our fingers were crossed for conditions good enough to camp.
Well, our plans have changed yet again. We are on plan D now. And we had to turn around because all the roads that we wanted to go up and explore were closed, and presumably it's for fires. We figured we'd go on the other side of the highway from the fires, and that is not the case. And there are a lot of fires in Montana right now. So anyway, we had one of our Patreon supporters is a local, and he knows of a spot, and I'm not going to disclose it, of course, but he knows of a spot that we just had to turn around. We're headed to right now, and he says that it's pretty sweet. So fingers crossed, the road is open going to this spot, and we can all set up camp.
Now it's time for a little lesson in all-wheel drive versus four-wheel drive. As you can see, only one front wheel is spinning. Before I handed the keys over to my wife, I should have locked up the center diff, and instead of trying to walk her through how to do that, I just explained to her how to turn on the front locker because it's a little bit easier, and then she could walk her way right up.
Yeah, it says compressor. You want to fire up the compressor so you can turn on the locker.
Do I start driving now?
Nope. Once the compressor stops, see the compressor stops, now I want you to hit the front locker button.
Okay.
Now slowly go forward.
Hindsight is always 20/20, and so before the next time we go out, I'm absolutely going to teach my wife how to use all the little buttons and levers in this Land Rover instead of just handing her the keys and saying, put it in drive. After spending the afternoon working our way up this little trail, we finally found camp.
We have found camp, ladies and gents. We'll just have to figure out how to organize everyone in here.
As As we all make our last meal together and we sit around the campfire swapping war stories, I can't help but feel super thankful. At the beginning of this adventure, we started out as strangers from different states all across the US, but by the end of it, we were a team and we were working as one cohesive unit. These are the trips we work all year for. So I'm gonna put the camera down, I'm gonna enjoy the evening, and soak up every minute that I have with these new friends. I hope these videos help to inspire some of you to go out and make your own adventures and meet new people and live your life. These memories, times with family, times with friends are what it's all about, and you don't want to keep pushing off planning that trip because you never know. Next weekend might not be here. So make sure you exploit every opportunity to get outside, to have some fun, and live a little.